Today I'm going to be doing a demonstration or a walkthrough of how I'm creating my Salesforce Experience portfolio. I gotta admit, Salesforce Experience Cloud, it's kind of clunky. It's not great as a website builder platform, but it does give you experience using Salesforce, and it's just another tool in your tool bag. So that's why I'm using it, just kind of demonstrate my knowledge and use of it to build my portfolio. So the very first thing I'm going to do is come into, well, I made a new developer org, which I'm not showing here, but I made a new developer org. I went ahead and enabled digital experiences, which you'll need to do. And if you don't know how to do that, it's pretty easy. Digital experiences, and you'll just come down to settings, open settings, and then there'll be a button here. All it'll say is enable the platform, and you'll just check that box, hit save, and it'll take a second, but then digital experiences will be enabled. The next thing I'm going to do is create my first site. So digital experiences, all sites, you can type that in. If you've already enabled it, just type in all sites or sites, whatever you want to do. So this will take a second to get going, and I'm just going to pause the video while it does that. All right, so here you can see it gives us some options to build some websites. I don't know too much about all these. I know, I think microsite, it takes a little more customization. I'm just going to use customer account portal for people that come in, guest users come in and access my portfolio. I think this is the easiest one. So we're going to create, we'll do my portfolio. And when you enable the site and create or enable digital experiences, it automatically creates a domain. And so that domain is what all of your sites are going to be based off of. So we'll give it a URL portfolio and then just hit create. All right, so now that that's all built, we get this kind of a couple options for workspaces that we can build in. We won't use most of them. We'll definitely use builder, but we may use content manager and administration. So let's go and open our builder, and I am just going to real quick, I want to go back into my Salesforce setup, and I want to do a couple things. Let me just go into my something in app menu. So we got app menu here with all our apps. Let me hide most of these because I don't really care about most of them. But the ones that I do want are going to be digital experiences. I might enable sales, actually, the sales app, just to have something to work with, but we'll see. Digital experiences we want. And then you can also see that it automatically made an app for our web page. So we're going to leave that enabled as well. And I will go ahead and show this one actually. So now we'll go home, just to kind of refresh a little bit, and we can see, well, the sales isn't showing. Let me try that one more time. See if it's maybe it's this one that I need to show. Okay, cool. All right, so I just want to point out a couple things on the profile of the system admin. There are some system permissions that you have access to, well, don't have access to, but that I want to point out is what's causing something. So if I type in CMS, system permissions, create CMS workspaces and channels, you can see this is automatically checked on the system admin. And that is what is going to, on the digital experience app launcher. So if we go to, we're already there, but if we click on the digital experiences, that's what's allowing us to create a CMS workspace. And since we enabled digital experiences, that is allowing us to create experience here. Those would be grayed out otherwise. So I'm going to create a CMS workspace. We'll call this CMS content and hit next. And you can see add channels. I'm able to add the website that I built. So this is my portfolio. This is going to be important later down the road, but I'm just pointing out now. And then we're just going to add English, default language English. And then we have a CMS workspace. Additionally, we can add some content here. So let's just type in files, And this is what we're going to use to just house all our assets. So we go to asset library, upload asset file, and then I have already downloaded some pictures. So I'm just going to go through one at a time. I have to add these pictures. I could do this inside the website, but I'm just going to do it here. So I'm going to pause the video after I add the first one. So I'll just click on the file that I want. I'm going to add it. And it's a good habit to title them where you want them, but I'm not going to do that. So file sharing, just make sure these are checked so that you have access to it once you're inside the website. All right, and then that's it. I'm going to pause the video and I'll come back once I've uploaded them all. All right, so I added the rest of those photos, and now I'm going to go back into my experience builder. We're going back into the website, and we're going to start making this look like a profile or a portfolio. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come down to theme, and I just want to actually change the theme. This is, we have some theme options that we can use inside our website, and the one that I like, and I've seen other people use for their portfolio, is Cypress. So I'm going to select this one, and that'll update your website layout a little bit, and yeah, we'll start going to work. First thing, I'm going to start at the top. This is inside this compact header, there's an image. Well, actually, it looks like text, but it's an image, and it's not here. So you have to go to theme, images, and then clear out this image here, and that'll update. And then the next thing is just with theme settings. We have got a couple options here. We are going to use this, this show hero. That's what this is. It's some sort of banner or layout, but it's customizable, and we're going to use that. We are not going to use the header for this page. We're actually, for our navigation tab, we're actually going to use a tile menu, which is this right here. We don't need this image here either, so we'll just delete that out. And then let's clear out some of this. And flows and quick links we can remove. All right, so now we've got this, and we're just gonna edit it. So let's open up the background, we'll clear out the image, and we'll upload our own. And here we have our asset library, and that's what we're gonna use. So we have a thumbnail to see what we're working with. So that makes it a little bit easier. And I've uploaded a hero page. I titled it so that I could find it later. You can see the image here is not what's showing here. So we've got the image layout to scale to fill, but we want to center this a little bit. So we'll see how this looks. There's less of the top than I want. I want that guy's head to be showing. You can see I'm here kind of cutting off the image, but we can fix this. So let's click on the image on the hero area, and then we're going to go background, and we're going to do layout, and let's increase the height and see if we can adjust this a little. All right, that's good. I like that. Maybe you can bring it down a little bit. Not the width. I didn't mean to change the width. The height. All right, that is right about where I want it. All right, and then the other thing is, you can see you might not be able to notice, but the image for this image of me is kind of dark, and that is because there's an image overlay, and you can turn this all the way down, and it'll get rid of the drop the transparency to 0, and that'll fix that. Next thing we want to do is to adjust the content of it, so the text that it's saying. So for the top line, we'll say welcome to, and then Andrew Mendonza's portfolio. All right, and now that looks good. We can also change the button. I'm not a designer, so This is more about functionality, but there are a couple things about the design that I'd like to change. First off, for this primary button, I'm just going to change this to portfolio. And at some point, we'll add the URL link to my portfolio page. By the way, I haven't created that yet. What I want to do is change this button color. So I have this extension on Chrome. It's this eyedropper, and I don't like the blue here. There are actually two things I'm going to do. So first, I'm going to get this color. I'm going to highlight the RGB numbers and copy them. And then we're going to change this. So right now it's using the theme color, and I'm going to use a custom color for this one because I don't want all the colors to be this, just this one. So then you can see it's changed a little bit. And then I think I'm going to change the other color as well. I don't know. I'm going to highlight this. And then I'm going to go into my theme settings. And for the rest of the time, I do want it to be this lighter blue color. So we're going to change the action colors for the theme to this. All right, now you can see when you highlight on it, it goes to that. And now let us just change some of the visibilities of our website for guest users. So you want to come into this wheel here, go to general, and select guest access, can see interact with the site without logging in. That's important because we don't want users to, leave the site because they have to log in. We want them to just be able to come in, see it. Nothing to hide here. All right. At this point, we can go ahead and publish it. And now our site is live, although no one has access to it yet. All right, let's see. So we need to create a couple pages. You can see here the site default setting is public. So if you do need to, for some reason, update one of these pages that we create, you can see there's 3 dots here. Just click on it, go to page settings, and then you can update the page to public. I'm not going to do that because my site's already public, but just if you have to. And then we're going to create 3 pages. We want one for our actual portfolio. All right, create that. We want to make one for certifications. I'm using this flexible layout because it gives me more options once I get into the page and moving around, working around it. Certification. All right, and then the last one, I'm going to use a object page actually. And that is going to connect to leads. And I'm going to use this actually as a way for people to leave referrals. So when you create an object page, it creates 3 separate pages. It creates a detail page, a list page, and something else, and a related list page. So I'll leave this the way it is. We can update this later. So on each of the individual pages, you can see you can remove the header. So we might do that later down the road, but let's just go back home, and we are going to set up our tile menu. So now that we have the pages we want to add, let us I don't know. It doesn't really matter. We'll update this. So we're gonna add our pages. So we're gonna have 3. We're gonna have portfolio. We're gonna do that as a site page, and that is portfolio. And you do want to make it publicly available. And here is the option to add an image. I'll add that in a second. I just want to show you what it would look like without that. So the next one is certifications. This is also a site page. And this is going to be, oops, not that one, certifications, again, publicly available. And then for the last one, this one is going to be a Salesforce object. So we'll call this referrals. All right, and this is gonna be, and the default that we want is not there yet because we need to go inside and make it. So let's go publicly available, optional. We won't add our image yet. So now you can see we got portfolio, certifications, referrals. Because we set the theme color, that's what these are populating as for the action color. That color that matches this one. So now let's just go in and we're gonna edit the image on there. You can go to that optional and select image from your asset library. I've already added these, so this is the portfolio. So I'm gonna add this one, certification. I have this little certification one, and then referrals. It's just going to be this group of people hugging and coming together in camaraderie to signify to give me a referral that people like me. So yeah, that's what that looks like. Not bad. It's coming together. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some images that will have links attached to them down in the footer. And the footer section is kind of cool because you can, when you put rich content editor in there, it's actually shared across all pages. So let me center this, clear that out, and we're just going to add 3 images. And this is going to be a LinkedIn image. Then it's gonna be, I'm gonna do my trailhead image, boom. And then lastly, I'm gonna do I custom made this one, nothing fancy, but like I took a PDF icon and then I just edited it, just slapped over some text of my own so that it says resume instead of PDF. All right, let's make these a little smaller. We're getting there. The next thing I want to do is just to add some links to each one of these images. So what I did there was I highlighted the image that I wanted. I hit this hyperlink button over here, and then it wants me to enter URL. So for LinkedIn, I'm gonna just copy the URL of my profile. Go back to Experience Builder and put that in. Same thing with this. I'm going to do this for Trailhead though. So if I go to my Trailhead account and find my profile. All right, so now I'm here on my profile and I could just copy this Trailblazer link, and that is what I'm going to use right here. So let's remove this one. And then finally for this one, resume, I'll add a link for my, I dropped the PDF of my resume inside my Google Drive. I came over here. If I click this and go to share, you may need to change the access to anyone with a link if you're using a Google Drive, or if you're using some sort of Google link. So you want to change the sharing settings to anyone with a link, make sure they're a viewer, and then just copy the link. And then you can put that in there. All right, so now you'll see that all of these are working links. If I go to preview, click on one of these, okay. Let me change one thing about that, and that is edit content. Okay, so these do open a new window. I'm gonna actually view it from here. It's actually takes me to the website instead of just a preview. So let's take a look. Right now it's not working properly because I haven't hit publish since I made these changes. So let me do that. All right, got it. And let me go back to view my portfolio. And now you can see they're all here. And not only that, they're showing these icons down at the bottom. Let's go to something like portfolio. If we go here, there's nothing on this screen. So let's go back. Certifications, nothing on this screen. Referrals, nothing on this screen. All right, but our resume works, our Trailhead works, and our LinkedIn works. So that is all good. I'm gonna exit out of this. There is one thing that not problematic, but just that I'm kind of not sure about. And that is, they're not showing these footers aren't showing up on the other pages. So I'm just gonna go look at that first before I do anything else. So let me go to the portfolio page. Template footer. All right. Can't seem to figure out why it's not being shared across the different pages. So I'm going to come back to this and see if building out the other pages, filling them out more, maybe solves that issue. But we'll find out. So right now, this looks okay. I mean, it's a start, but we're going to add just one more section to this, and that is our tabs. And this is just for people to kind of navigate and see a little bit more about us. So we're gonna click inside the tabs object, and we'll just customize these a little bit. So let's call this one an about me. Basically, when they land on our homepage, we want them to see, just, you know, automatically get a little flavor for who we are, what we're about. We'll add an experience. So this will maybe just be previous jobs that I've had, maybe throw in the Talent Stacker project, and maybe some personal interests. And then we'll hit save, and you know, I don't know. We can use Rich Content Editor, like I said, to add some images. So let's just crank this, well, turn this up to like 20 and just say, it reset it. Classic. Ariel, an excellent Salesforce, you know, whatever. Be verbose, but I am not going to be in this case. I'm just gonna pop that there, come back to it at some point, and then put in an image of myself. Really spice up the website. Shrink it down a little bit. You know, here's me having a life outside of Salesforce, but you know, put something that kind of gives you a little personality, I guess. And then fill this in, say, maybe talk about your Salesforce journey. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Experience, I'll put that in later. Yeah, I'll put in some stuff about maybe some of my hobbies and personal interests, like I said. Let's go ahead and go to certifications. That'll be a pretty easy one to fill out. And with this, I've already put in a couple. If I need to, I can change how many columns I have here. So I have 2 certifications, the associate and the Salesforce certification administrator certification, but I'm working on a 3rd one. So I'm going to do 3 because I'm going to say, hey, I'm working on this one. All right. And then let's just add our picture below. All right. Let's do the same with this one. All right, and then for this one, app. All right. That's fine. I'm still mad that the components aren't showing there. I may just have to manually add them, which I'd rather not do, but we'll see. All right, next up, we're going to look into our lead one, or our lead page, which is going to house our referral. So we'll go to the lead list. And then what we're going to do on here is we're going to add a component, and that component is going to be create a record button. And this is for people to add their own personal referral. So leave a recommendation. No, just one C. All right. And then this is going to be new lead. It's publicly available, and that'll be that. So right now, if we click on it in preview mode, it'll take us here, and you can see the information that we are filling out. We need to adjust a little bit. So let's go to Salesforce setup, and we're just going to go ahead and fix a couple things on that in the object manager. So first thing we need with lead is a recommendation field. So let's go and create that. It'll just be a long form text box. So that 32,000 seems fine. Maybe 10 lines. I don't know. Hit next. Make it so everybody can see it. Don't want to adjust that later. Put it on all the page layouts. But I think the page layout that we really want is going to be our lead layout, and we do need to adjust this. So here's our recommendation field. Let's add it to the top. Let's get rid of a description. Get rid of all these extra fields. Just things that we don't, I mean, we can adjust the sharing settings, and we will, but don't really want people seeing these who are visitors. So we don't want to see lead owners. Name, company, title. Company is good. We would want somebody to put the company that they're recommending from. Campaign, not really necessary. Industry, definitely don't need that. So we want phone, fax, email, website would be good. Lead statuses, we have to leave it there. Rating and that. All right, that should be good. And then the other thing we need to do is fix this button. So we're going to go to global actions, click on that. We need to adjust the new lead button. So let's, that was the wrong one. I mean, I need to change the layout of it, not the actual editing of it. So we have our email, phone, maybe we can put the website on, I don't know. And then we can remove the title, but we do want someone to leave a recommendation. All right, phone, I guess we'll put at the top. So that looks pretty good. So now we can save that. And then when we come back over here to Experience Builder, refresh, I guess. Referrals, we've got a leave a recommendation button. And now we can see we have a recommendation field. We have our phone, website, email. Yeah, and that looks pretty good. So let's go back to our lead list. And we want to just change some of the way this is laid out here. So once again, we're going to go inside of, let's just get to leads here. We need to take a look at our list views. Recently viewed leads. So you'll notice that we have these like titles up here, and that's what people are seeing. We want to change the list view, but for recently viewed, it's grayed out. So the very first thing we're going to do is create a new one. So this is going to be what people see. All right, recommendations. All users can see this list view. So that includes guests of our website, and that's what guests will be. We want to change it to all leads. Kind of tricky because these leads were all created today and when I created the org, and I kind of want to just filter by ongoing, like new leads. So I'm going to say created date equals actually greater than, and we'll say value is today. So, or we'll say value is greater than yesterday. So 4, 5, 23. And then we'll have to add some extra stuff to filter everybody else out. So really, I mean, in this case, that was kind of like a pointless one, but it's a start. Add filter. How can I get rid of everyone? All right. That's not a good way to do that. But it's a start. So the next thing, we just want to adjust the select fields to display. Name, email, and company are all good. Get rid of lead status, this, and we want to add back in that recommendation. Let me see if there's a not equal to blank. All right, let me pause this for a second until I figure this out. All right, so I changed the created date to yesterday, so that brought everybody back. And then I'm just, I'm just gonna change the email so that it equals blank. So basically, anyone who doesn't put their email down, it'll show up on this list. Again, not a good way to do it, but it's just kind of more of an example than anything. So now we've got that. Let's go take a look at our experience builder. We'll refresh this page. Preview, referrals. So this is still showing all the leads, and we want to update that. So to do that, let's go back to builder. Two things. So we're going to change this, all these settings. Page object's name is going to be the lead object. We'll change we want the filter name to be recommendations and we want to take these out. We don't want people to be editing it. Get rid of the icon, get rid of the object name. Now it's just a list. Show list actions, don't want that. Or list search, refresh we can keep. All right, and really just want the table view. All right, so that kind of pares it down. And now we've got all our lists here, and that's looking good. We don't have any information on here yet, so let's try creating a recommendation. So preview. Oh, I guess we got to publish that all first. All right, so that worked. And now I'm just gonna go take a look at this. And I'm gonna leave myself a referral. Let's see if it shows up. Mr. Andrew Mendonza. So I'm unable to leave an email address. Oh, well, I can, but I don't want to because then it won't show up on the list view. So there's the recommendation. I'm gonna leave the rest of that stuff blank, and hopefully, if all went well, then that list view will show up. So because it doesn't have an email, it shows the recommendation, or it shows this list. So we will at some point change it so they can't look at other lists, but for now, everybody can see these other lists if they want to. Now we want to just make sure that we want to take a look at it through an incognito browser. We haven't done that yet, so we don't know how this will go. All right, so a couple things we can see right off the bat. We can see my links down here at the bottom. Those are working. We can see the little about me, experience, and interest. What we cannot see are my tile views. So we'll need to fix that before we go forward with anything else. So let us go here. This is going to have to do with the guest user profile. So my portfolio profile, we want to get there through general settings and go to that. And this will allow us some access to different settings. And the one we want that I think is preventing the tile is this document setting. So let's edit that. All right, so tab hidden and read should be enabled. Now, there may be a couple other ones we'll need to do surrounding leads, and I will get there, but let's just see if that immediately right off the bat solve that issue of the tiles. All right, so now we're seeing 2 out of the 3. Let's go back and see what's going on here. All right, so it could be, well, we can change the recommendation now. It probably is just that we don't have access to the lead object, so we need to, if we're doing anything else, then go add the lead. Read to the lead, if you will. So let's do that here. Same thing, my portfolio profile, and we just need to give them read access. And actually, as I think about it, we also need to give them write access or create access, since they're going to be creating potentially they'll be creating new leads for us in the form of recommendations. Just go ahead and turn that default tab on and hit save. All right, one more time, new incognito window. So now we see our referrals. Let's go ahead and click that and see what we come up with. Not bad, not bad. A couple things wrong, but that's okay. We can still leave a lead, or rather a recommendation. Actually, we cannot. We cannot leave a recommendation because the recommendation field is unavailable, that one we made. And you can actually also see it's not here either, the recommendation. And one more thing, we can't see the list view, the list name of the recommendation we made earlier. So we need to fix all of those things. One of those we can fix here back on my portfolio profile. So again, if we go here, select this, that'll take you there. And then search for lead. And we're gonna edit this. All right, the thing that is not showing up is recommendation. If I wasn't clear, I can't remember if I said it or not. The way I'm looking at this type of, so first off, I need to give that read access, not write access. Just read and, or not edit, just read. If I didn't say it before, when you need to turn on enhanced profile, and that is through user management settings. You want to make sure that that is enabled here, enhanced profile user interface. Just makes it easier to navigate for some of these settings. So that solved one of our problems. That now allows us to go here. We can at the very least see that recommendation tab available, but we still aren't seeing the actual record that should populate on that list. So we are going to do, what's it called? Hang on, I got this. Oh yeah, sharing settings. Now this is there's kind of, the sharing settings there are settings here that pertain to the default external access, which is our guest user. So we want them to be able to read those things. That still doesn't, do we also need to check the site user visibility? We'll do that one too. It still doesn't let us see the record, but it's a start. And then this needs to finish loading. So let me give that a second. All right, so that's good. So let's come down here and we need to create a sharing rule for our guest users because of, there's an update, I'm not sure when, but there's an update that basically secure guest user record access is always checked. So that means you have to create a sharing rule to bypass it. And we'll just call this guest user. And you want to do this based off of guest user access and based on criteria. And the easiest way to do this is to set something as not equal to. So basically not equal to blah, blah, blah. You know, there's no city that's going to be named that. So basically all the records are open. And if you have multiple sites, you'll have to select which site this is applicable to, but it's going to be this one. And then hit save. Boom. All right. Now let's go take a look. one more time. I keep on saying one more time, but honestly, we're probably gonna do this a bunch more times. All right, and now we can see the recommendation. What a great guy, Andrew Mendonza. It's all there. So that's cool. The next thing, just for a little bit of housekeeping, we can clean up some of these. I'm going to delete these custom views. I don't need those. I know there's a way to prevent people from changing the list view, but I'm not sure how I would do it right now. I'm not gonna go digging too deeply into that. So now for the rest of these, I'm just gonna change the sharing settings so that only I can see it, because it's not like I want to delete all of them. So sharing settings, only I can see. I can't do that with recently viewed, so that's not an option. That's kind of too bad, you know. I'm gonna get rid of this Bertha Boxer lady. Anyway, recommendations is really the only one that I want people to see. They'll still see recently viewed, but they won't see these other ones. All right, now that we're done with that, we can go on to building out. So we got our certifications page, we got our referrals page. Yeah, you see, if I put this up here, it's no longer saying shared. And yet, when I put it down here, it says it's shared, and yet it's not. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go onto the other pages and add it manually, I guess. I just know there's a way that this should work automatically. I shouldn't have to do this. Ooh, all right, hang on, I just thought of something. I'm gonna go to certifications. There's a template footer here. What if I add it to this one? And maybe that'll add it to all the rest of the ones, you know? Maybe I don't have to entirely reinvent the wheel, but maybe just invent one wheel, you know? Who knows? So we're gonna publish that, and that is going to take a second. So I'm gonna pause this. All right, we are in business. So now let's go check and see if that actually worked. I'm gonna actually do this via my profile. So I can take a look at the certification. I see it there. These are all my list view buttons. What if I go to referrals? Oh, look at that. Oh, it is there at the bottom. So I guess you just have to do it not on the home page, but on a different page. I need to clean this up. All right, so that's good. Next up, unfortunately, home page. Just close out of that. Good job, good job. All right, sorry, just a little tab maintenance. I don't like where this is at, so I'm gonna move this back down here. I should have thought about that a little more. I need to move the tabs and not the rich content editor. And then, yeah, I guess these two will just be blank. I might clean them up and get rid of them at some point, but I'm not sure I did that right now. So we'll leave that alone. And then we've got a portfolio page. Let's check that out, get the link for that. All right, so here's my portfolio page. We're gonna do this, and then we'll go back to my experience builder, and we'll click on this button here, primary button, and this is just to add the URL for that. So slap that in. Now when somebody comes in and clicks on it, they'll click on my portfolio, which is cool. Then the last thing that I wanted to do was just to clean up my portfolio. So earlier, if you remember, we created a whole CMS content page on our digital experience app. So let's go back to that. We're gonna go digital experience and just clear out these. We're gonna go to our CMS content that we made. So if we go here, into digital experience home, click CMS content, takes us here. And what we're going to do is add some content. And now, if you want to, you don't have to do this, right? This is just extra. But I was thinking that if I'm using this portfolio in perpetuity, and I'm really just creating lots of content, it would be better if I could create it in such a way that it would be ongoing and easily navigable throughout my portfolio, and not just like all slapped on the one page, but rather, you could go to different things that I've made. So to that point, I am going to, I don't know if I'll keep this here. I might delete this, create a new navigation tab. I would like for people to be able to navigate without this header, but I'll think about that later. Anyway, I'm going to clear this out. Got it. And what I'm going to do is I am going to use CMS content to populate news articles that people will be able to click on to get content. Now, I'm not an expert at this. There's a video on YouTube. I'll drop the link in. He has a great video about everything about CMS. I'm just doing the very basics. So I had made a video for YouTube, and nothing fancy, just like YouTube's a nice video hosting website. So I thought I'd make use of that. So I put a video on here, just click on it, and I'm just gonna make a post about this. So here's my CMS content that I was talking about. Here's the title that it's going to be. You can't use special characters, so I'm going to get rid of all of these little bars here, these straight line bars, and I'm going to put that instead. And then for the description, I will just, use the same description. All right, and then you can add a video link. Let me get my link first. And then right here, down here in the body, I wonder what would happen if I put this right here. All right, so it doesn't matter. It still brings my video over to the side. All good. And then I have an image that I can add. We need to add content. Hopefully I'm not reaching my max capacity yet. I probably am, but whatever. Validation thumbnail. I made this for this video. When I created the video, you can see it's the same one. Yada, yada, yada. And then we'll hit save. And then for an excerpt, I'm just going to take the same little description and I'm going to put this right here. Now, we have made our article. You could fill this out more, but very basic, we have made an article. And this is how we're going to create our ongoing portfolio as we produce more content to put on here. So this is done via the use of components. So there's CMS collection, connect, HTML, JSON, but we're just using single item because I haven't quite figured out all the ins and outs. Like I said, I need to finish that video that guy posted. I'll put a link in the description of this video, but we're just going to use a single item. And so I made 3 columns, just make it more, as I keep on creating content, it'll link to different pieces. So let's figure out the content that we're going to add. So you would, after you drop in that CMS single item, you go here, add content, select the article you want to link to, and then hit OK. All right, content layout. So we'll just do banner, maybe tile actually would be good. I don't really know the difference, but we're going to go down here to field mapping. The headline's going to be our title. Okay, I don't like tile. I think I'll do banner. I thought I'd be okay with it, but I wasn't. So headline's going to be the title. And this is just referencing the picture image that I made. So I think that's because I haven't actually published anything yet. Let me go back here. Okay. So I need to hit publish. I saved it as a draft, but I never hit publish. Good thing to note. All right, let's check this out. View, bring this back over here, change content. Now we can see the one that we actually, validation rule. I don't know why I didn't notice that before. All right, field mappings. Let's do headline as title. Subheading is going to be that little excerpt. Image will be the banner image. That's easy enough. We do need to change that at some point just to make it fit better. But I think that's it for field mappings. Component style, we're going to use the aspect ratio. And yeah, can I make more of this content show, I guess is the question. Ooh. All right, so we want more content to show. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. I don't like how dark that is, so I'm gonna drop that down. You know, you can add a couple little effects here. When somebody hovers over it, overlay fade out. All right, so you know, we got a start. This is obviously not the video. This is just a link to the video, but that's what's cool about it because it'll link to different pages. So let's hit publish. All right, no changes. Weird. And then we'll hit preview, and we'll go view. And now it'll take us to this. You can see we're on a new page. It's called news detail, and there's nothing here. So that's because we need to add there's a new item here, CMS single detail. All right, that didn't like that. So let's try that again. Okay. So let's do our field mappings. I don't know. Title, that's cool. What if I did the body here? Okay, cool. So for the subheading, I actually did the body, which was housing my video, and you know, it made it centered, which like if I just did the excerpt, I would have my text here. But then if I did the featured content body and I did the body here, now it puts my, you know, it puts the video over here all on the side and it's not centered, and you know, who likes that? So let's come back into the subheading and we'll add the body there, and I get the best of both worlds. I get that same excerpt because I used it twice, and I get my video. All right, I think that is all I'm gonna do. I think I'm done with this video. So let's, you know, the true test is gonna be to check this out on a, the true test is going to be to check this out on an Incognito tab. So sure, everything's here, but is it actually working? So let's first check out, you know, got my leave recommendations. Let's do a Miss Jane Doe. Does Doe. All right, 555 1525. Company Bambi, website and email will leave blank. And now we can see both those. Didn't leave a recommendation, I forgot. Okay, and there's another problem. I guess I need to give this person write access. I forgot about that for recommendation. I guess that'll be, and I thought that this would work, but I guess I need to give them edit access. All right. Sorry, y'all. Going back to the drawing board. No. Yes. Leads. And I will get into, you know what? Okay. I need to go experience builder. I need to get into the guest profile. Specifically as it pertains to leads. And I need to edit that or they need to be able to edit the recommendation. Edit access. so they could see it. They just couldn't edit it. Thought it would work without that, but it did not. All right, we're gonna hit save. Let's go back to our incognito browser one more time, and we'll start from the top. So we've got referrals. If we leave a recommendation, we can now make a, we can put a recommendation there. I'm not going to, but we could. Back to referrals, we can see the recommendations are there. Can't do that. And we can only see recently viewed leads, which don't have anything there. Which, would be a problem realistically, because I guess if I recently viewed a lead or recommendation that someone wasn't supposed to see, then there would be problems there, but I'm not going to go into that right now or figure that out right now. All right. Next one is certifications, and you can see the certifications that I have and the one that's coming, and you can see that I'm still keeping these buttons down here at the bottom. I have to sign into LinkedIn to see that one. Trailblazer, you can see, and resume. It's all good. And then I'm gonna go home to do this. So I could click in portfolio here, but let's see. First, let me click through these tabs. There's nothing in these, but we could fill them out if we wanted to. And then portfolio. And yeah, so now I can see this little article here that I've created. I can click view. Hey everyone, I wanted to give a demonstration on validation. So, it's a start, and it's a portfolio. So thank you all so much for staying with me. If you haven't, I don't blame you. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll post some links to some of the content I've referenced, and some of the links and images that I used. Not all of them, but maybe like some of the smaller ones. Probably won't need pictures of me, but yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out.